Welcome to Buzz on Veterans. I'm your host, Chris Budihas. Today's segment is brought to you by Operation Barnabas. What we're doing here today in the studio is we're going to talk about veterans in our community and the great things they're doing to help other veterans and in our community in general. So today I got Raj Loungani from Enhanced Psych. Raj, welcome.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks for having me.
Nice to meet you. Awesome. We're going to talk about some great subjects, but
Yes,
I'm going to
sir.
throw you a softball question. Where are you from? What you do in the military? And how did you get to what you're doing in your post-military career?
All right. Thank you for having me. And
Yeah.
I'm from Iowa. I grew up mostly in Iowa.
Okay.
Before that, my parents, they immigrated here, had nothing. D.C., Philly, Houston, but mostly grew up in Iowa.
Okay.
Went to University of Iowa.
Okay.
Only one school I applied to. And
So you're a Hawkeye fan.
Yeah, Hawkeyes. Yes.
There's some
Caitlin
tough
Clark.
years in football.
Oh, yeah,
a
yeah,
couple
yeah.
good ones too. Yeah.
Yeah, good. We're being well known right now for Caitlin
Yeah.
Clark in the women's basketball. So, joined the National Guard when
Yeah.
I was there. Really wanted to serve. It was 2001. 9/11 happened. It really shook me. I wanted to go Special Forces.
Yeah.
Be Green Beret. So went to Guard medical unit there in Iowa City. Ended up finishing graduating there. Went to New Hampshire. Went to Army National Guard there.
Yeah.
In Manchester. I was at Dartmouth.
Okay.
Would drive to Manchester.
Pretty good school.
Yeah,
I've
not
heard of
bad.
it once,
Not
yeah.
bad. Yeah, you got the colors on. I could see. So would do like a lot of like physicals and things like that. I became a med lab tech,
Okay.
but do a lot of combat medic things as well. Went to then Florida, University of Florida for med school. So I'd come train here at Camp Blanding.
Wow. Yeah.
Nearby.
Know well.
And do training there. And then Army Reserves in Gainesville.
Okay.
When I was in my IRR time.
Yeah.
So that was like 01 to 09.
Yeah.
I was gonna make it a career. I was really set on it. It was a tough choice.
Yeah.
Honestly, I saw a lot of PTSD
Yeah.
when I was in. People coming back from deployments, medics.
Did that kind of motivate you to get into psychiatry then?
Yeah, absolutely. That was a strong motivator to
Yeah.
go to psychiatry. My mom's a neurologist. So I was always faster with the brain. I'd go shadow, like work with, not work with her, but go shadow her there
Yeah.
at hospital and meet the vets. She worked at the VA. My dad worked at the VA.
Oh, wow.
My wife works at the VA.
Wow.
So we have a lot of love for vets. And now I continue to see them in my practice every
Yeah.
week and, to re-up their benefits and
Yeah.
lately I've been trying to move them to get healing of their
Right.
PTSD because often, there's a mentality of suck it up, drive on,
Yeah.
pick yourself up by the bootstraps while you're
Yeah.
in. And now we're trying to reprogram that and be like, you can live a better life. But there's
Right.
often like family and work and all the things that come with all
Yeah.
around.
It's funny, in the military, it's a culture of you got to pick yourself up, you got to drive on because of the mission. I think we're trying to change it on the behavioral health side. It's like, no, if you need help, seek out help. And of course, as you know, we talk about courage in the military all the time, that physical courage and that moral courage, that willingness to go, hey, I need some help here. And I love what you said, we're trying to change their lives, make your life better. So if your foot was hurt, would you not go see a podiatrist in order to, make your quality of life better? If with the brain specifically, wouldn't you not want to make your quality of life better, especially when it affects other people that you love and care about? I'm sure you see that.
Yeah, I mean, the trauma that's experienced in combat is not normal.
Yeah.
Right? And then to reintegrate back is not easy, as I'm sure you've talked to all the
Yeah.
vets and know so well. And this affects like every part of their life.
Yeah.
And every 22 minutes there's a suicide.
Right.
Veterans, 2.5 times the suicide rate for women vets versus non-vets.
Oh, wow.
And so this is a
tragic.
mental health crisis, particularly in our veterans.
Yeah.
And so this really got me into like psychedelic assisted therapy, which I'm doing with ketamine now. I'm learning with MDMA
Yeah.
and psilocybin and working with the other few, docs that work with MAPS. I don't know if you're familiar, but they're the ones
Yeah.
pushing to get it FDA approved.
Right, I've seen
MDMA assisted
that.
therapy.
Yeah.
And fortunately now we have powerful people in our Congress who are veterans who know that there's a need for better health care that the VA itself can't.
And you see a lot of positive results, I'd imagine, because some of the stuff I
yeah.
read online, I've seen that it's very positive in the results they're
Yeah,
seeing.
so the
in combat
MDMA
veterans.
results were unbelievable. It was like 90% improvement with moderate to severe PTSD compared to like,
Yeah.
much less without. So even though there's still a little stigma toward these drugs, it's like people aren't going to abuse a drug to do 16 hours of therapy with it.
Yeah.
They're going to get real healing, and these
Right.
vets, they really want it. There's a little bit of skepticism sometimes toward the pharmaceuticals, I feel like, since COVID.
Yeah.
And this is like psychiatry 5.0. It's like, let's heal, not just suppress symptoms.
Yeah.
Which is great.
That's gigantic. Yeah, so for viewers out there, because we have people across the country, how do they find you? Are you online or just
absolutely,
Google,
yeah.
LinkedIn?
You could, and you can find me online. You could enhancepsych.com.
Okay.
Yeah, or you can find me on social media, Dr. Enhanced Psych,
Okay.
on all the social medias. So happy to help in any way I can.
Yeah.
If often people just hit me up with questions, and
Well, I
give them
think, one of
resources.
my concerns is, they say the war is over, and with the withdrawal of Afghanistan, I don't think that's a true statement. I think the war is always perpetual based on some theorists out there, but we won't get into that. But I think the reality of it is, one of my concerns is, and you've probably seen it, is as Department of Defense divests some capacity, think about TBI, PTSD, and providers and other ways of treating folks on active duty. And then in those that are veterans now, if we divest those capabilities, yet the population will continue to grow and get older, and then some of these issues will exacerbate themselves, then we have a bigger problem we need to address as a nation. And I'm glad you're attacking that. Thanks to your family for their service in the VA. That's huge. That's a lot of sacrifice there. And thanks for what you're doing.
They love the vets. I mean, it could be frustrating dealing with any big system, of course, as it is for everybody, patients and the providers. But there is a sense of service, absolutely. In that own way.
You feel better to your core.
Yeah, and it could be tough for the vets going through the VA systems. That's something I hear a lot, and so I kind of hear it on both sides. The frustration sometimes, and it's just the need is so high, with all the wars we've been having recently, and just like you said, the population getting older, so you still have Korea vets and Vietnam vets,
absolutely,
and everything.
Well, thanks for your service in the Army,
you so much.
And thanks for what you're doing for our community. And
thank you, Chris.
I no doubt you're saving lives just by what you're doing. And thanks for your family service, service to the VA. So
thank you,
appreciate
Chris.
it. Thanks for coming
all right,
in today.
Thanks for having
awesome.
me. All right, take care.
Hey, today's episode is sponsored by Operation Barnabas, a great nonprofit over there in Clay County that continues to grow and help our veterans community for those that are in need. So I'd ask you to take a look at OperationBarnabas.com. I'd ask you not to have that cappuccino on Monday, and take that $5 if you feel compelled, and give to Operation Barnabas so that they can, give veterans a hand up, not a hand out. See you at the next episode. Follow me on LinkedIn.
Operation Barnabas is a veterans ministry, started in 2017 with the purpose of helping our veterans that kind of got left behind, and they've struggled with addictions, PTSD, suicidal thoughts, those kind of things, helping them get whole again through one-to-one mentorship.
Being able to communicate with them and help them can drastically change their life, can drastically change a family's life. The little that we can do is put our hand out and say, hey, do you want a hand up?